Hello guys, I'm Annalise Velez, your host, and welcome to She TV. Today we'll be talking about the 10 things you need to know before you start your career in permanent makeup. Before we begin, I need everyone to take out their credit cards and start typing their number below. I'm just kidding. What I really want you guys to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you'll know the next time that I'm on. I have a lot of interesting videos that I'm going to be making pertaining to the permanent makeup industry and other things that I find very, very interesting. So without further ado, let's get back to our regular scheduled programming. Thank you. Okay, so I know that I said that there were going to be 10 things that I wanted to talk about with regards to starting a career in the permanent makeup industry. But the one thing I forgot to mention is that there should be a why you want to do all of these things. For me, the reason why I went into this is basically these videos.
Okay. Holy crap. Can I say that? Holy
Yes. Videos like this are just things that I watched over and over and over when I was deciding on choosing permanent makeup. And if you just see the look on her face, you can tell when her eyes just get glossy because she's so excited from getting this procedure done. And that right there is what I choose permanent makeup, because I want to make people feel happy and amazing and beautiful.
Oh my gosh, this is magical.
Well, now you can see why I felt so inclined to change my career into the permanent makeup industry. Let's get back to the 10 things you need to know before you get into the permanent makeup business. Number one, you need to ask yourself if you're comfortable with touching people, experiencing like bodily fluids, and the potential that this career is actually very dangerous. You're exposed to bodily fluids like blood, and you also get exposed to like saliva if you're doing lip tattoos and you're going to touch people. You should also understand that when you're in the permanent makeup industry, it's best for you to have vaccines, things like hepatitis B that you could be exposed to. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to give you medical advice. So if you're not prepared for any of that, don't even go anywhere near this career, because you'd hate to start paying for all of this and realize, ugh, I don't really want to touch people, or oh my god, I didn't realize it was going to have a lot of blood involved. It will have a lot of blood involved sometimes. Number two, do you have a steady hand and is your vision really good? Because you'll be making little tiny hair strokes either with a wand or with a machine, and you might think that your vision is up to par, but if it's anything like my experience, the minute I actually sat down and started doing this, I realized my vision really wasn't that good. So here we go. These are my glasses. I don't exactly have blurry vision, but I have astigmatism, and so it makes things look very hairy and furry. Not necessarily everything, but like when things are really, really close together, like hair strokes, everything kind of just looks like beach fuzz. And you also have to have a steady hand. If you don't have a steady hand, it's also going to be very difficult for you to do this. And again, you don't want to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars to be in this industry and realize you were going to suck at it anyway just because of some natural inabilities that you didn't check before you came into the industry. Number three, patience to apply the time you need to succeed. Now, what does that mean? Just because you go to school and you learn how to do this, it doesn't mean that you're going to be applying the practice that you need to do, or your current job might get in the way of this. You don't want to rush and quit your job and think to yourself, oh, I'm going to be in the permanent makeup industry, I'm going to make so much money, here I go, I already learned what I have to learn. That's not how it's going to work. So you really, really need to have patience and dedication and practice a lot, and just so that you can get yourself going in this industry. Number four, find the right school when you're entering the permanent makeup industry. Now, this has to be a video all on its own. You need to understand that this is not something that you should be learning at home by yourself on YouTube. I should know, but every single state has different rules and regulations about how the schools can be certified or don't need to be certified, and they don't need to be licensed with the city that you're going in. It's not really necessarily a requirement here in New York. As you begin researching going into this industry, you'll think to yourself, okay, some of the schools are anywhere from $800 to $5,000. Some schools are even more expensive than that. Comment below if you want a video that will go a little bit deeper into what finding a school is like, because I must have spent like 3 or 4 months learning everything I possibly could about the permanent makeup industry before I actually decided to go to a school. Number five, financial commitment. you're going to be spending a lot of money, maybe a little bit at a time or maybe a lot at a time, but the financial commitment is very serious. The reality is that you might have to continue educating yourself. You might have to pay for models, you might not. Not to mention your licensing, your insurance. You're going to have to buy more materials than the school gives you, because sometimes the school will make you use your material that they've already given you to work and practice. Other schools might not do that. Some schools might not give you anything at all. And while you discover what you're good at and what you're comfortable with, you should be insured. And before you could be insured, you have to go through all the other hoops and loops that are pertaining to this industry. These are all things that are going to blindside you if you're not financially prepared and understand the financial commitment that comes with being in the permanent makeup industry or starting in this career. Number 6, this is going to be a lifetime of education. So I don't want to compare, I feel like it's rude to compare this to being like a lawyer or a doctor or anything like that, but let's just say that whenever you're in something seriously, you're going to have to continue educating yourself. But in the permanent makeup industry, not only do trends change the way people want to look, like right now the latest trend is like, you know, putting your eyebrows up really high and like perming them to look that way, but the way people want their eyebrows to look is going to change, and the devices you use, the inks that you use, it's always changing. The style, how to make eyebrows with this tattoo method is always changing too. Like for instance, I'll just show you. This right here is a microblade. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but wait, no, you guys can't. But this is a microblade. And for some time when this started in the industry, people were using only that to make these little hair strokes and give people eyebrows. But a lot of people don't qualify for a procedure like that. And it's important that you're following and you're going to conferences and you're learning more about the permanent makeup industry as it is constantly evolving, because new things will come out and you don't want to fall behind and not continue to know what are the best practices or what are the newest things you could be offering your clients. The next one is, oh, this is a big one for me. This is a big one for me. It's be emotionally prepared for the ups and the downs. And when I tell you that this goes into everything, it literally goes into everything. It goes into, you know, feeling the pressure of trying to make the hair strokes perfect and like spaced apart exactly the same, and then having a beautiful design, and you're just learning that on fake skin, and then you apply that to real skin and you just feel all the nerves and the jitters because you're worried about making your client really happy, and you're worried about like the future of this, of what it's gonna look like in 6 weeks, because your client has to come back in 6 weeks. All of these things make you really nervous, and that is just the permanent makeup part about it. If you're not very good at marketing and sales and promotion and networking, you are going to be going through an emotional roller coaster, and it's totally natural. And the most important thing to understand is you cannot give up. For that matter, you shouldn't give up. You've already, if you're at this point, if you're at like number 7 and you've already gone to school and you've already started practicing and you've taken care of the vision and all of that, you should not give up. Because if you don't give up, at the end of the day, you're going to be exactly where you want to be, which is a successful permanent makeup artist, making people happy and making them feel beautiful about themselves. So you have to understand that just because you go to school and you learn how to do this, that doesn't mean that people are going to be lining up outside the door to have your services. You have to work at it. You have to work at the actual craft, and you have to work at the actual business. Number 8 is be brave. Be very brave. What is like the definition of bravery? Not allowing fear to get the best of you and continuing to move forward. You must be brave, okay? There are going to be moments where you're not going to feel like doing this because you will feel overwhelmed, you don't feel as good, people are going to be saying stupid things to you and give you a bunch of comments. Your family might not be the best supporters for this, or maybe you don't even want to use your family to practice, but permanent makeup is not easy. It seems easy, it's very rewarding, but bravery is going to be the thing that is going to help you succeed. Number 9, your first school will more than likely not be enough education. I know I said that you have to continue to educate yourself, but the first school you go to might not be enough. And I don't want you to get upset or sad or feel like, you know, you spent your money and you didn't get your money's worth. Don't feel that way. It's really important that you get perspectives from other people, from other schools, because permanent makeup is not only like a science where you understand the pigments and you understand the skin types, but it's also an art. So what one artist does could be very different from another artist, and it's so important to build up a network of people that you can ask questions for, and probably go to other schools that can teach you more differently. So don't be discouraged if the first school you go to, you don't feel like they taught you everything. That's okay. It's an art and a little bit of a science. Number 10, you will be the only person responsible for your success. Number 10, I'll say it again. You will be the only person responsible for your success in permanent makeup. I have to say this to you because permanent makeup is not like, it's not like being in the restaurant industry where you could go to culinary school and then maybe apply for a job in like Applebee's or Olive Garden. There aren't like 20,000 locations where you could go and get a job. This is really an industry where you will be mostly self-employed. Even if you get a job with someone that owns a salon in the permanent makeup industry, if you don't really have a big following, people are not necessarily going to be confident to take on your services, and they're going to want the artist who has more experience, and they might even be willing to pay that person more money to work on them. So I just want you to take all of these things into consideration before you enter into the world of permanent makeup. I do have a lot more videos that are going to be coming about this industry. I'm probably going to have models that you guys can see firsthand, and I'm going to maybe visit my school. I'll talk about my school later. Alright guys, I hope that this video has been super informative and that it will help you make the right decision before you start running that credit card and getting yourself into the permanent makeup industry. If I missed anything, or if you have any further questions about the permanent makeup industry, or maybe you want to get your eyebrows done because you've always wanted to get them done and you have a lot of questions, you can message me below and I will be happy to give you guys more information, and maybe even create another video that will give you more information and more experience about the permanent makeup industry. For now, I am signing off, but before I go, I will once again say, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you know when I'm on the next time. I hope to make these videos twice a month because doing it 4 times right now is overwhelming for me. And if you are interested in knowing what happened with the garden or any other kind of activities that I was doing before I went on a 6-month hiatus, please comment below again, and I will work really hard to get you guys more videos so that you understand things in the permanent makeup industry and all the other topics that I will be talking about moving forward. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day. Ciao, bacalao.